r/am I the asshole, posted 3 hours ago by sadvisit9733. Am I the asshole for putting my sleep needs above my husband's convenience? Husband and I, 30s, have been married for a few years now. We've both had issues with some of each other's sleeping habits the entirety of our marriage. I've changed the habits which directly impact his sleep when he brought it to me as an issue. He has refused to even consider my issues with his habits as even a serious one. For example, I had a habit of playing soothing sleep music on my phone while going to bed to help me fall asleep. I had a timer set for it to turn off an hour into playing, but apparently he couldn't fall asleep with it playing. I ended up changing it to watch something soothing instead, without sound, so it wouldn't disturb him. On the other hand, he had a habit of having the dog sleep in the bed with us. The dog would jump on my head at all hours of the night and wake me up in a panic, multiple times each night. I was getting less than 3 hours of sleep effectively each night and started to develop anxiety. It took nearly a year for him to take me seriously and have the dog sleep outside of our room in his own bed. Over the past few years, my patience for convincing him something is a big deal to me has been dwindling. Recently, we got a new comforter set because he kept complaining about the old one having a weird smell. I couldn't tell you what was smelling weird about it all of a sudden, but he had a heightened sense of smell compared to most. For those past few weeks, I've been woken up multiple times each night by the chattering of my own teeth and my feet completely numb because he keeps turning on the AC in the middle of the winter and pulling the entire comforter onto himself in his sleep. I told him my issue multiple times, and each time he told me if he turns on the heater at the set temperature, his nose gets dry. I asked him to not keep pulling the comforter all to himself, and he told me he can't control something he does in his sleep, and I should feel free to pull it back. If he keeps doing that, completely missing the point that to do so, I'll need to be woken up by freezing to death multiple times each night, not getting enough sleep, and the sleep I need to function. I got tired of arguing with him and trying to get him to see why this is an issue for me, and took it into my own hands. I started going to bed a bit later, after he's asleep, and turning on the heater instead to 70. He sets the AC to 65. And I got out our old comforter and started using that instead. When he started complaining about it, I told him that since he's refused to care about my quality of sleep, I've decided to take care of my own issues my own way. He called me an asshole because he thinks of my comfort and well-being with other things. I told him I gave him a fair chance to find a solution together, but he couldn't be bothered. But now I'm wondering if I'm being an asshole because he does actually consider my comfort and well-being with most other things: food, work, relaxation, hobbies, etc. I mean, in this situation, all I really think is that even if he does consider you and your well-being in most other things, this is a pretty important issue. And the fact that he's held off on finding a solution, I mean, not even holding off, the fact that he hasn't even tried finding a solution to help both of you, I mean, it's not something that you should do a Reddit over, like divorce him or whatnot, but you got to communicate with him. Not in the, not like to this point where it's like you're just sick of him just not doing anything and just then finally taking things into your own hands. I mean, like, communicate really that, hey, this is really getting on my nerves. I can't get a good night's sleep. I'm freezing all the fucking time. And it's just, why can't, this makes me feel like you don't care about me. Or it does, like, my inconvenience is not a concern to you as long as you get what you want, which he gets his cold ass room and his princess sleep or whatever. I'd just say you got to talk to him. This isn't something to divorce over. Maybe counseling, but that's something you gotta come to the conclusion of, But you just gotta talk with him and tell him. You gotta tell him directly. You can't do any of this bullshit and like, oh yeah, I think we need to do something better about this. You gotta directly tell him, cut straight through the bullshit and say, hey, I'm cold as fuck as night, and the sleeping arrangement is not working for me. And maybe, I don't know, this is just an idea. Maybe sleeping in separate rooms or on different mattresses might work. You pretty much fix the situation for yourself by getting a comforter. And if he's so weirded out by the smell, you just gotta get a new comforter. Tell him we'll get a new comforter, but until then, you're using that the smelly one from before. If that is when he's gonna try to fix it when you bring the fucking comforter in, I guess so be it, Yeah, that's been me for Am I the Asshole Reddit stories. I'll be back with you for another one. Peace.